the passing away of Bhishma Dev in the presence of Lord Krishna. Now, the scene is the battlefield of Kurukshetra. If you recollect, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, there is Bhishma Pitama lying on the bed of arrows. And he has got an ability in him where he can decide on his time of death. For many, many lifetimes of his, he has been a very saintly person. And because of that, he has been given this vardhan that he can predict his own death also. He can definitely say, today I want to die, and he can die. So we are going to now understand what is Bhishma Pita up to and what is Yudhishthir saying to him. So in this chapter 9, let us see verse 1. Sutta Goswami said, being afraid for having killed so many subjects in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthir went to the scene of the massacre. There Bhishma Dev was lying on a bed of arrows about to pass away. So, verse 2. At that time all his brothers followed him on beautiful chariots drawn by first-class horses, decorated with gold ornaments. With them were Vyas and Rishis like Dhaumya, the learned priest of the Pandavas, and others. O sage, verse 3. Among the Brahmanas, Lord Sri Krishna also followed, seated on the chariot with Arjuna. Thus, King Yudhishthir appeared very aristocratic like Kuber, surrounded by his companions, Guhyakas. Alright. So, the war is nearly over. Everything has come to a standstill. Everybody is lying dead from the Kauravas side. Not everybody, some of them are still alive. We did the story of, Ashwathama recently in the last chapter. So he is alive, he has been told to get out. So he is going away. And then there is the Pandavas. Yudhishthir especially, who is guilty. He feels extreme guilt. I hope you understand that this guilt has been with him because, remember, the Bhagavad Gita was taught to Arjuna only, right? And not to Yudhishthir. So the recipient of Bhagavad Gita was Arjuna. So Arjuna has some understanding about the subject. But rest of the people, including Yudhishthir, have very little understanding of what has happened in the war. There was mayhem, literally everybody was killed. The whole battlefield is red in color. There is blood flowing all over the place. All the Kauravas are dead. And when all the Kauravas are dead, naturally, he is feeling extremely bad about what has happened. This is a very terrible scene. In your life also, there will be a lot of times when the guilt literally eats you up from inside. You really wonder, why have I done this? After doing an act, whatever the act could be, it could be war also. See, currently there are wars fought across the world, many places things have happened, isn't it? Have you seen the aftermath of the war? People are very guilty of it. Somebody is blaming someone, somebody is blaming somebody else. In a similar manner, here we have a very interesting episode happening where Yudhishthir is feeling very bad. And you have Bhishma Pitama lying on the bed of arrows, who has got the ability to predict his own death. Okay, I can die at this hour. This is, the ability of Bhishma. So everybody is going to their spiritual teacher. He is a spiritual teacher. Because he has taught these Pandavas as well as the Kauravas everything about life and spirituality and all that. So naturally he is going over there, Yudhishthir, and along with him you will find Sri Krishna is also traveling to the same place. Remember, Sri Krishna is the charioteer of Arjuna. So he is also traveling. Then there is Dhaumya Rishi. Now you will find that there are so many important personalities who are going to travel to see this very interesting scene, because this chapter and the next one most probably is about important life lessons. If you recollect, I have done with you all the Uddhav Gita, and we are going to start the Uddhav Gita in another context very soon. What is Uddhav Gita? It is the same book, the scripture, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Uddhav Gita is the last words of Sri Krishna. When Sri Krishna is about to go to Prabhasa, where everybody, all the Yadus, they die. It's a curse. So they all pass away, including Sri Krishna has to pass away. At that moment, remember, Uddhava asks very important questions to Sri Krishna. And the scripture which we will be starting in February, this scripture is called Eknath Bhagavati. This is Eknath Maharaj, a very important saint from Maharashtra, who has given us a very beautiful explanation on this Uddhav Gita. Rajshrima is going to do that for you all. Okay? That will start in the coming month. So let us come back to our story. Here is Bhishma Pitama lying on the bed of arrows, and everybody is going towards Bhishma Pitama because last words of this person is very, very important. So listen to this chapter. So Yudhishthira is gone. You will find Dhaumya Rishi is also there. Sri Krishna has gone over there along with Arjuna. So now let us see the next verse. Verse 4 says, seeing him lying on the ground like a demigod fallen from the sky, the Pandava king Yudhishthira, along with his younger brother and Lord Krishna, bowed down before him. Verse 5 says, just to see the chief of the descendants of King Bharata, that is Bhishma, all the great souls of the universe, namely the rishis among the demigods, Brahmanas and kings, all situated in the quality of goodness, were assembled there. This is the assembly of all the Sattvic people. Remember this. Very interesting and important personalities are going to assemble over there to listen to the words of Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma, if you remember the story, has been the one who has given up the kingdom. Somewhere we had done the story of Amba also. You remember? Now Amba wanted to marry him. That's a very interesting story. And Bhishma Pitama's Gurudev, you see, Bhishma Pitama is there. He was taught by a very interesting personality. His guru is Parshuram. Parshuram is an avatar which is there even during Sri Ram's time. He is there just now also, and he is going to attend even this particular part where he is going to meet Bhishma. And because Bhishma has been told by his Gurudev, go marry her, Bhishma says, no, I don't want to. And then both these people have a very great fight. Nobody wins. And then there is a peace, a truce. Bhishma Pitama says, see, I want to do this, and that is the reason why I said it. Parshuram accepts it. But he already knows what is the outcome of it. Now Parshuram is a person, an avatar of Mahavishnu himself. So there are lots of things that have transpired during these entire episodes. We are at the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are going to do the story in facets, in small, small pockets. So now let us see what happens to Bhishma Pitama. So, he was the descendant of King Bharata. The name through which our country has been named. Please remember this. Bharatvarsh. The name of this country, India, is Bharatvarsh. India is a name given by foreigners. Alright. They give the name to this country, but our name is always been Bharat. Because the descendants of Bharata have been ruling this place for a very long time. And Bhishma Pitama is also from the same lineage. So, he is lying over there and people are around him. Then, the next verse says, 6, 7, all the saints, like Parvata Muni, Narada, Dhaumya, Vyasa, okay, Brahadsva, Bharadwaj, Parshuram, his disciples, Vashishta Muni, Indra Pramada, Trita, Grasmada, Asita, Kaksivan, Gautama, Atri, Kaushiki, Sudarshana were present. So all the Rishi Munis are going to be present over there. Now all these Rishi Munis, if you recollect, they all start from somewhere in the past. Some of them are Brahma's children. Saptarishis down, everybody, if you remember. We will be doing this in, again, like I said, in small, small batches. So all these Rishi Munis, they are born again and again in the new Manvantara also. They keep on coming. The Rishi Munis are the repositories of knowledge. They are the repository of knowledge. They have their own heavens and then they go over there and they come back again. It is like how we have in Buddhism. Okay? You have this concept where some people are realized, so they become Buddha. So they can get out of the system. A Buddha is a person who gets out of the system. He is not going to come back again. Then there are the Arhats, which are the lower end, which is sadhakas as we call them. And then there is a category where these are basically those who are called the repository of knowledge. Okay? They have to keep on coming back because knowledge has to be transferred to the next generation and the next generation. And that is the reason why they are always around. So you will find that there are lots of Munis over here, Rishi Munis and all, who have been mentioned again and again and again. A very interesting name over here is called Vyasdev. Did you see that name? Now Vyasdev is there when this is happening, and later on he is born again when he is writing the scripture. Do you understand what I am saying? So what does this actually mean? The understanding is these Rishi Munis, they are literally like, I'm going to my house and coming back. I go to my house and come back. So they have this ability to be back in action once again. You may really wonder, do they exist even today? Yes, they do. They do. They do. If you have the ability to go and do sadhana in the caves or in the mountains, wherever they were doing their last, you can meet them. Even if it is Ashwatthama, you can meet him. If you want to meet Narada also, you can meet Narada. But you need to have the eyes to see him and experience him. You can't meet Narada just like that. Okay? And even if he comes in front of you, you may not be able to understand that this is Narada for you. Parshuram is also there. Now Parshuram is a eternal being. He is always around. Correct? And because he is an eternal being, he continues to keep on going all over the place. Like Dattatreya, Hanumanji. Today, there are lots of people who do Hanuman Chalisa and various other scriptures. Do they do that? You find that in India we have these people who keep on reading the Hanuman Chalisa, and you might have seen and heard in India that Hanumanji keeps on giving darshan very often to people. He is an eternal soul. So he keeps on coming back again and again. And he takes various forms. See, we think Hanumanji is like a monkey god. No, not necessary. Not necessary. He can come like a human being also. Okay? Hanumanji's avatars are too many. If you recollect, Shivaji Maharaj was there. Huh? Now Shivaji Maharaj was an avatar of Shivji himself. And along with him, he had his guru. His name was Samartha Ramdas. Do you remember Samartha Ramdas? Samartha Ramdas is Hanumanji's avatar. See the word, Ramdas, Das of Ram. He is also an avatar of Shivji. So how beautiful this whole thing is. It all keeps on happening over and over again. And if you recollect, they keep on coming always, like Dattatreya is always there in some form or the other. See, Dattatreya is an eternal soul. If you go to Andhra Pradesh, okay, he is there as well. Huh? Right? In the form of Shripad Sri Vallabh. Then he is there in the form of Narasimha Saraswati, north of Karnataka. And in Maharashtra also. And then Swami Samartha Vakkalkut. Don't mix up Swami Samartha and Samartha Ramdas. Okay, these are names might look very similar, but they are different people. And then Sai Baba of Shirdi. These avatars keep on coming. And that is the reason why you will find that even during the time of this war, the Mahabharata war, you will find that all these people actually were present. Now I want you to think about it. When Vyasdev was writing this book, don't you think it was his first-hand account of what he was saying? Even in Ramayana also this interesting story is there. Valmiki is there even in the story, if you know. Right? Is there even in the story. Vyas Muni is also in the story. So this will tell you that these are permanent people. Literally, they are always around. So don't be under the impression that Vyasdev is not there. So he's gone and come back. No. Likewise, the Lord Sri Krishna is always there. He takes various forms. He keeps on coming continuously. Except that we don't know him. Radharani constantly there. She keeps on coming. We just got to have the vision to see them and recognize them. We don't have that. Human beings don't have the ability to see and recognize. So that is the reason why we have to be very careful. So here you will find that Parvata Muni is there. Narada, as you know. Dhaumya Rishi is there. We just now saw Dhaumya Rishi is the teacher of these people. He has come. Vyasdev is there. And you will find that there are so many others. Do you see there is Vashishta Muni also over here? See, remember Vashishta Muni was there during whose time? Sri Ram's time. Sri Ram was there. At that time Vasishtha Muni was there. Correct or wrong? Now also he is there. Do you get this point? You may feel ki, oh my God, how is it possible? These are 2000 years away from each other. That is how their belief system is. Today we think, that, okay, these two stories happened a couple of thousand years away. Okay. And here you find Vasishtha Muni is also there. So then what are they doing over there? So, verse 8 says, and many others, like Sukdev Goswami. Now Sukdev, if you remember, is the one who is telling the story. Right? He is the one who is reciting to whom? You will find the grandson. Right? Parikshit. The whole story started with Parikshit, isn't it? And other purified souls, Kashyapa and Angirasa, and others, all accompanied by their respective disciples, arrived here. Now, who are these people? Kashyapa Muni is the person who was given charge of the whole of India. The whole of India was handed over by Parshuram to Kashyapa Muni and say, here, take this, go. So he becomes the progenitor of many people in India. You will find that there are different gotras, and that you will find that this is there also. So he was also there. And their respective disciples are also there. Who are the respective disciples? Everybody has a respective disciple. See, every guru has their disciples. They always go together. So, we will see. Verse 9 says, Bhishma Dev was the best among the 8 Vasus, received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis who were assembled there, for he knew perfectly all the religious principles according to time and place. So what is these religious principles? Religious principles are extremely important principles. You have to follow them very, very religiously. The term religiously means with a lot of dedication and devotion you have to follow them. And these are tenets of our society. Think about it like this. You have a guru. He has taught you a certain things that you have to do it like this. You have to do this in this manner. And you disobey those rules. Recently you will find that where this Kumbh Mela is going on, there were some people who totally went against their guru. Do you remember? There was this IITian who disobeyed his guru. The guru has all the right in the world to throw him out. Because the following of religious principles is a very, very big requirement in the spiritual world. If you do not have that ability to follow the spiritual principles, then you are not doing justice to anything, especially the spiritual knowledge that is there. Now think about it. If I am doing something wrong, suppose I do something wrong just now, are you going to get affected because of that? Yes or no? There is a leader and the leader does something wrong. It gets affected or no? So the person who is a follower is going to be terribly affected. Likewise, there are people who have been given charge of certain things. They are leaders among that group. Their job is to ensure that rules and regulations are followed. One of the most important things in this world is taught here by Bhishma Pitama. Even on your deathbed, even when you are dying, your job is to follow the ritualistic, religious principles. Did you understand this or no? Suppose I tell people, you are supposed to keep your windows open. Do you think I am requesting people to keep their windows open? I'm asking you the question. Do you think I am requesting people to keep their windows open? Even if you are dying, your job is to follow the ritualistic principles, the religious principles. Are you dying? So even on death, do you see? Here is Bhishma Pitama following the religious principles. It is extremely important. Why is it important? Because without religion, you are going to go scot-free. You will do a lot of wrong activities. You are going to get into a karmic loop. I have seen people, if they get reprimanded, they behave as if there is some big thing fallen on top of their head. And they disobey like nobody's business. Spirituality is not like your material world. Please remember this. There is a very strict rules and regulations that need to be followed. And these are important. Simple things. Do it this way. What does it mean? You have to do certain thing in a certain manner. Is that correct or wrong? But till you do not understand the spiritual principles, you are not going to grow anywhere. You are going to be suffering a lot. And here the greatest example is, here is a person suffering. Just imagine, in your hand, one small piece of wood goes inside your hand. Okay? How tough is it? How difficult is it? Is it hurtful? One small wooden piece, that wooden, this thing goes inside. Think like that. And even then you are supposed to perform. You cannot show the world that you are hurt. Can you imagine this? And here is Bhishma Pitama. Arrows pierce through his body. Does the body hurt or no? Think. The body is in tremendous pain. And the ability of this great person to bear the pain and go through this whole thing and yet maintain respectfully the religious principles. It is a very interesting phenomenon. So, he knew perfectly all the religious principles according to time and place. The place is very important. What is the place? Think about it. In a temple, can you be wearing clothes which you are not supposed to wear? Can you go and make loud noises over there? No. You are expected to follow a certain way. There is a church service going on. Do you find loudspeakers loudly dancing and this and that? It doesn't work like that, no? Agree with me or no? In a similar manner, there is a time and a place. The time is extremely important. And the place is extremely important. You cannot give reasons. So time and place is important. Bhishma Pitama understands these two principles religious principles have to be followed in the right time and the right place. Whatever may happen, even if you are on your deathbed. Verse 10, Lord Sri Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. He manifests his transcendental form by his internal potency. This very Lord was sitting before Bhishma Dev, and Bhishma Dev knew of his glories and he worshipped him duly. Think, Sri Krishna has come along with Arjuna and is standing over there. Look at the humility of Bhishma Pitama. He looks at everyone and bows down to them. I want you to think, the arrows are pierced in his body all over. And yet he is turning towards Sri Krishna and giving him his namaskar. He can't get up from there and touch the feet. But look at the way the humility is. He is showing his respect to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is the essential principle which is there in everybody's heart. The divinity within every human being. But when the divinity has manifested in front of you, and the divinity has manifested in front of you, isn't it important to give respect? So respectfully you have to bow down. Respectfully, as per the religious principle, you are supposed to give your namaskar. And that is the reason why you will find that Bhishma Pitama, the very Lord, was sitting in before Bhishma Pitama, and since Bhishma Dev knew of his glories, he worshipped him duly. Verse 11, the son of Maharaj Pandu was sitting silently nearby, overtaken with affection for their dying grandfather. Seeing this, Bhishma Dev congratulated them with feeling. There were tears of ecstasy in his eyes, for he was overwhelmed by love and affection. Now Bhishma Pitama turns his attention towards the Pandavas. Remember, they have won the victory. Naturally, even if you are the enemy, it is your duty to congratulate the victors. You will find that when the tennis match is played, or the badminton, or whichever match is played, you can't just walk away from the stadium. You can't just say, oh, I don't care. No. If they have won, you have to honor them. You have to congratulate them. You have to wish them well. Always. Even if it is your enemy, even if it is the opposite side, it is important to wish them. Think about it. Inauguration happened few days ago. And there are certain people, irresponsible people, who do not feel the right to come and wish. In India also you will find that there are lots of people, they will not even go for the inauguration and for the ceremony. It is important. It is a religious principle. You are disobeying the religious principle if you do not go and wish the newcomers in. When you do the handover in your company also, is it not important to shake hands and you have to hand over very clearly, positively, and wish the person well? Think like that. Bhishma Pitama is performing his duty to the last breath of his. And what does he say? He congratulated them with feelings. The feelings have to be always of goodness. Nothing bad in that. You should not feel, I want to kill that person. What does he think of himself? No, that is not the way to behave. Acceptance of defeat is important. You have to accept it graciously. Even if you are beaten up. In a scene like that, you have to accept your defeat graciously. And you have to be your good self. And with feeling, you have to wish them well. it does not matter. Maybe you will win the next round. It does not really matter. You should never be a mean person. These are religious principles we are going to learn in this chapter. So already I have taught you a couple of religious principles. Here is one more. You have to congratulate your enemy with good feelings. There were tears of ecstasy in his eyes, and he was overwhelmed with love and affection. Remember, those were his kids only. He has taught all of them. Now you cannot be biased. One wins and one loses doesn't mean anything. You got to be unbiased in your approach to everything. And when you are unbiased towards your approach, you are not allowed to show your anger or upset or anything. The goodness, the principle of goodness always has to stand you in good stead. You are not a bad person. So you have to give up in love. And that is what Bhishma Pitama is doing over here. He is saying to Yudhishthir and others, I want to congratulate you on your victory. He is in terrible pain. His entire army has lost. And yet he has the graciousness to be very kind. You have to congratulate them. That is what he has done. And he is crying. Because to see your own children win something. Now you have children. Some of you have children. When you see your children winning prizes, do you feel mighty pleased? You are not winning any prize. You are not winning any prize. They are winning. Do you feel happy for them? Yes. Even in the case of a guru, when the Guru Putra or Guru Putri, they do something, the Guru is mighty pleased and he is always going to be gracious about it, saying that I am so happy that you have got something. You have to rise above in this world. Everybody wants to fall down. But to rise above is the religious principle. You have to rise above yourself. And you have to be like this. There were tears of ecstasy in his eyes. He was overwhelmed with love and affection. And this is the state of the great Bhishma Pitama. So we have come to the end of verse 11. We will stop over here.
Recording stopped.